morning, everybody. My name's Cassie. I am a knitter located in northern New Jersey, about 20 minutes outside of New York City. I've been wanting to kind of dip my toe into podcasting or vlogging, whatever you want to call it. So with Vlogmas, felt like a good time to try it out. I've been knitting for pretty consistently for about 4 years now. I learned back when I was in high school, and I kind of always started and stopped over the years. Kind of like peak pandemic 2021, I picked it up again and have really stuck with it. And I think my first project coming back into it was actually an entrelac sweater that I did through the Knit Collage spring knit along, I believe it was at the time. And yeah, I think once I kind of got over that mental block of sweaters are so hard, I'll never be able to do that, I kind of just, it stuck, and I've been knitting pretty much nonstop ever since. I'm looking forward to going on this journey and testing it out and seeing if it's something that I'd like to do a little bit more regularly. I'm giving myself some grace with Vlogmas. I'm hoping that I can do this every day, but since this is my first time kind of diving into it, I might miss a day or two, or maybe combine a few days until I get into more of a rhythm. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'll kick us off with what I'm wearing and then a few projects I'm working on, and I'll bring you along with me for the rest of my day. So what I'm wearing is Wave of Change pullover by Denise Bayron. I knit this, I think 3 years ago. It is made with Chelsea Luxe, a duet that she had a custom color with Grace and Pearl, which is a knitting store about an hour from me, down the shore in Jersey. And then I used her zebra yarn in the color Concrete, and I held basically three strands together. So there's the zebra yarn, this little nubby yarn, and then a skein of mohair as well. And I really love it. It's such a comfy, cozy sweater. It's pretty cold here this morning. We're hopefully gonna get a little bit of snow tonight. I don't know, I'm not holding my breath. It'll probably be rain. But all that being said, it's nice and cool, so I can finally bring out a lot of my sweaters. A few finished objects that I have. This weekend, I knocked out one of these little 2x2 hats in some Noro yarn that I had. It's kind of just, the Noro yarn I've had for a while. It's just kind of been sitting there. And it just finally spoke to me. I've been really enjoying these 2x2 ribbed hats. The pattern I use is literally 2x2 on Ravelry, but I just love the look of it. I just kind of guessed on number of stitches. It's not perfect by any means, because the stitch count was definitely off in terms of the decreases and stuff like that. This one looks okay. Some of them don't really line up, but yeah, it was just one of those things I needed a quick knit, and I was watching a newer to me podcast, Table 10, Rachel and Renee, and I think it was Rachel who is really into knitting beanies right now as kind of a quick fix project, and I very much had that itch, and I can always use more beanies. So this was really fun, quick knit, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of wear out of this. Alrighty, next project I have is a finished test knit. This is the Avenue pullover by Tori Yu. I really love this one. I used Explorer Knits and Fibers Leave No Trace yarn, which I know they just had a release or an in-stock update with a bunch of their Leave No Trace yarn this weekend. This is the color Smog, which I believe is kind of the like second-hand version, if you will, or the Leave No Trace version of their colorway Air for like their Elements colors that they did maybe last year. And then I held it with a skein of Knitting for Olive Merino to get like a DK weight yarn, and I really, really love it. Super, super cozy. I really like the V-neck and how it lays on me. I'm sure I'll wear it sometime this week to show you guys. I love this. I think it's like called a saddle shoulder. I've never done this kind of construction before, but I really, really love it. It's definitely like a bigger ease for me than I usually do. But it's like a very comfy, like throw over like leggings, or like, you know, want to wear a hand knit, but don't want to have to really like fuss too much about it. So yeah, I really, really love how that came together. And that's another one of my finished objects. And that pattern will be coming out this weekend, actually, December 6th. Alrighty, and then as for things that I've got on my needles, let's start with this one. Okay, actually, speaking of knit collage, what kind of brought me back into knitting, I am doing their fall or winter knit along right now. Oh my goodness, it looks ginormous, but it's because I'm sitting. This is the With the Band sweater by Jen Geigley. I've got the body done and the neck. I did kind of like the mock neck. And so I'm working through my sleeves, but I really, really love how it's coming together. Maybe this will be like a Christmas sweater for me. I'm using the colors, it's all Spun Cloud. This tan color is Creme Brulee. And then French Vanilla is the cream color. This stripy yarn, actually, this is their daisy chain yarn, and that is in Sweet Papaya. And then this other little stripe is in Joy Bomb Orange, which is another Spun Cloud color. Yeah, I really love how it's coming together. These kind of like micro stripes are something that I added in just to kind of use more of what I have in stash. But it's been really, really fun to knit up. I haven't done a knit collage like sweater in quite some time. It's probably been like 2-ish years. I don't really wear like these kinds of like bulky yarns all that often anymore, but I was just feeling, I don't know, called to do it. It's been fun to kind of like get a little bit more creative with what I have in stash. So I used most of what I have in stash. I did have to order 2 more skeins during their Black Friday sale, even though those skeins weren't on sale. I need more of these stripes. So the Joy Bomb Orange and the Sweet Papaya Daisy Chain. Because I just used like some mini skeins that I had from one of their mini skein sets. And I do not have enough to get through the sleeves. So once that comes in, I will pick that up again. I think the knit along, it's still happening. It's got, I think, about 2, maybe 3 weeks left until it wraps up. So plenty of time to finish that because it knits up really, really quickly on size 17 needles. Alrighty, next whip that I have on my needles is another test knit. This is, I just started this weekend. Really, really pretty, like 1x1 cable sweater. This is the Ariandel sweater. I believe that's how it's pronounced. By Rebecca Clow, the Crayabea. This is done in some stash yarn as well. This is some older Farmer's Daughter fibers. I think it's called their Craggy Tweed in Bronc Blanc, I believe is the color. But yeah, I really, really love how this is coming together as well. The 1x1 cables are really fun, and I actually kind of like how the cables are showing up on the tweed. I wasn't sure how that was gonna look, but I'm really, really liking it. I've learned how to do the 1x1 cables without a cable needle, which is really nice. It just like speeds up the process quite a bit. So yeah, this is due at the end of January. So I'm hoping to make some good progress on this week, and just kind of get to like the mindless like body part. The cable design is really only kind of like on the top of the yoke part, and then it just goes into straight stockinette. But yeah, I'm looking forward to working on that this week. And then I have a bunch of like very old whips that have just been sitting in a little basket that I have in my room. It's kind of my whip graveyard, if you will. There's two that I've kind of picked up from there that I've been working little by little on. One is the DRK Everyday Sweater. This I am knitting in, I believe is it Juniper Moon? Juniper Moon, I think. And they're like Patagonia yarn in the color Mahogany. And I don't really know why I put this down. I probably got like distracted by another new design, but I really, really love it. And I love this like chocolatey brown color. Up close, it has a little bit of like red and green specks in it as well. Sorry for all of the dog hair you probably see in the sweater. I have a mini Aussie, Luna, who I'm sure will make appearances throughout. I love her so much. She just turned 5, but she sheds a ton because she's an Australian Shepherd. So I have hair everywhere. And it inevitably gets into my knits as well, but that's okay. Anyway, this is, yeah, I'm like on the bottom ribbing. I've got probably like an inch of the bottom ribbing left. It requires like 4 inches of ribbing, which on like size 3 needles is slow going. But yeah, this is like a nice kind of like mindless knit. I have brought it to the movies with me recently, which I haven't really ever brought knits with me, but this is like actually kind of like the perfect project to bring, because it's right now it's just like 2x2 rib. So yeah, that's been nice. I feel like I've been able to make a decent dent in that. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can finish the ribbing this week and then move on to the sleeves. This I actually have in a cute little like Christmassy project bag. This is from Puff Stitch. I don't really remember where I got this. It might have been on Etsy. I have no idea if they even still makes bags. And then I have another whip that I think I actually left in my car. That is the Lume pullover by Sari Nordlund. I'm making that in Biche Bouche. And that's kind of one of my other like graveyard knits that I started late last year. And that I've like picked up. I'm chugging through the body right now. Yeah, so that's my quick little like intro, what I'm working on, what I'm wearing, what I've finished recently. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting ready. I'm gonna go walk Luna, and head into the office. I'll bring you guys along with me. All right, see you soon.